I got the invitation to go on this Armed Lutheran radio show, though. You know this guy? Have you seen this? There's two things that I would like to say that make me feel safe. Number one, the fact that there is a radio show called the Armed Lutheran Podcast somewhere in the world. That makes me feel safe.
Pistols, prayer, and potluck. This is Armed Lutheran Radio.
Hey folks, welcome to Armed Lutheran Radio, a show about guns, hunting, competitive shooting, the natural right of self-defense, and what God's Word says about the issues surrounding gun rights and gun ownership. I'm your host, Lloyd Bailey, the Armed Lutheran. This is episode number 405. Thank you all so much for making Armed Lutheran Radio a part of your week again this week. Welcome to all of you who are new. Hope you will stick around and join us again next week for another episode. Hope you will peruse the back catalog, the hundreds of episodes that we have available, 404 previous episodes, and I think there's a handful of midweek meditations as well that were released that I think are out there specifically for gun club members, which is what we're all about tonight. Tonight is our online hangout for June 2024. We're hanging out with the men and women who make this show possible, the members of the Reformation Gun Club. We are listener funded, folks. We have no advertising. We don't have any sponsors. We rely on the generosity of the men and women who enjoy the show, put their money where their mouth is. They value what we do here and they want to see it continue. And their $36 per year contribution helps keep the lights on and keeps us doing what we're doing. And if you would like to become one of them, you can visit reformationgunclub.com and sign up today. Again, it's only $36 a year, and you get access to hundreds of hours of exclusive content and some cool Armed Lutheran swag, and the satisfaction of knowing you made all of this possible, plus the chance to hang out with some of the cool people you are going to meet today. And let's bring a couple of them in. Unfortunately, here's the thing. Before we get started, I do want to mention we may have a smaller crowd tonight. I completely forgot today to send out the invitations to the members, and was reminded thanks to one of the guests who's going to be here tonight, the father of our superfan, who is probably going to be here shortly. I probably could have combed my hair before all of this. Instead of looking like I just woke up from a long sleep. That just made things much better. Yeah, that's perfect. Anyway, so we may have a small crowd, or they may dribble in as the show goes along, but we'll see. Let's bring them in. Yes, sir, we have David coming to join us, looks like. And Pastor G, who usually brings our super fan. There is David. How are you, sir?
Doing well, and you?
I like your background. Certainly.
That is Michigan? No, Maine.
All right. And it's our super fan, Max, and her dad. And the Padre is with us. Bring him in here. Connecting to audio, it says. All right. I'm not sure. All right. We're having a little trouble with his audio, or his audio is connected but not working correctly. How is everyone?
Awesome.
Good.
Other than a backache.
Oh, nothing worse than back pain.
But chiropractor's taking care of it, though, so hopefully.
Awesome. There he is.
Howdy.
Howdy. How are you?
Doing all right. Lloyd, it's all your fault, though.
Oh, Lord. What'd I do now?
Yeah, well, you were talking about that new Fallout series on Amazon, and so I binge watched that, and now I'm stuck playing the game.
Yep.
It's a veritable black hole for time. So
It really is. Which one are you playing?
Thank you, dude.
Fallout 3.
Start from, yeah, that's the best of the next gen. Well, I don't know. Yeah.
That may as well be considered the first game, because I had completely ignored the Fallout series for a very long time because I tried playing the original games and I thought they sucked.
I was never able to get into those sort of isometric, top-down RPGs with all text because I get bored reading all the text and I don't have time for all of it. It's just too much faff, so I move on. It's nice, the newer generation games, at least, you have, even if they sometimes look weird or behave weirdly, they at least speak to you. So it's you don't have to read all the dialogue.
Right.
Which streaming service is that on?
It is on Amazon Prime.
That's why I don't see it.
Yeah.
Don't pay for that anymore.
Yeah.
Not that I would recommend, doing this, but I have it on good authority that there's this thing called BitTorrent where you can be able to get.
So I've heard. Yeah, we have a Prime subscription is the only reason that I wouldn't pay for it otherwise. It's like with Netflix, I don't pay for Netflix anymore. Just don't.
Like Amazon Prime, like a couple $100 or something like that nowadays.
Is it 39?
It was 100 to start with, and they put up to 119, and I think it's 139, something like that.
139 or something like that.
Yeah.
We tend to rotate services, so because there's no like long-term contract, so we'll subscribe to Netflix as long as that's something we want to watch, and as soon as there's nothing we want to watch, we drop that one, then we'll pick up like Paramount Plus for a few months and watch a series there, then drop that one and go over to CBS or whatever else,
Yep.
AT&T had a deal a while back where Max was free. They haven't turned it off yet.
Nope, I still have it. We have AT&T Internet, and we get Max free, so I can see. Fortunately, the Western Conference playoffs in the Stanley Cup playoffs were all on Max. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But and now we used Fubo for the regular season to be able to watch the Stars and hockey and stuff. Now that they're done, we just canceled that and save the subscription fee for 3 or 4 months until the season kicks off again.
Yeah. One way to do it.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Stuart, how are you?
Excuse me, I'm doing well, thank you very much.
Back on dry land?
Back on dry land and back in bug-infested Florida. So I'm not outside. I haven't sprayed this week yet.
Gotcha. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's go
if you
around.
get tired of the bugs down there, you can always come up to Minnesota. Well, you've got plenty up here for you.
Oof.
Oh, well, that's fine. I'll stick to a so-called conservative state with a good governor, not a communist. I left a communist state.
Well, David, let's start with you. We haven't seen you in a while, and we didn't do last month because of all kinds of nonsense down here. So, catch us up on what you've been up to and why the beautiful picture of Maine behind you. That's pretty awesome.
Maine was a vacation couple of years back. My wife likes lighthouses, and therefore we have chased a few of those.
Nice.
I had to look carefully to think if it was Maine or Michigan. We've been to both recently.
Okay.
So we're doing a good little bit of travel. I am now recently retired.
Congratulations, I
Awesome.
assume.
Yeah. Well, I still do a little contract work here and there, just a couple hours a week to in case they have questions, which is sort of cool. I think the max I've ever done is 5.5 in 1 week. So that's great by me. Spent the last week working with third graders at Vacation Bible School.
Awesome.
A whole week of that, and my ears hurt.
I imagine.
Yeah, but I mean, it was wonderful kids. Had some great times with them. And let's see, on the shooting side of things, I don't know. I sold a couple of J frames and bought a new J frame in 22.
Nice.
Model 63 stainless 8 shot. So
very good.
A lot of fun.
Always fun. Nothing more fun than a 22.
Yeah.
You can burn through a ton of ammo and not spend a whole lot of money. And
Exactly. Well, I got that one for teaching, and if anybody's not recoil, but complexity averse. And so, just stuff like that.
It's great for teaching and for kids if they're nervous about firearms, they're noise sensitive, and you're worried about recoil and that kind of stuff. You don't have to worry about any of that. So yeah, it's great.
And I've always wanted a Smith & Wesson 22 revolver. I don't know why. It's not logical. I have other 22 revolvers and I have other 22 pistols, but it's like, and somebody wanted, two guys wanted a couple of my J frames, and it's like,
let's check that box.
Yeah.
On the bucket list.
Yeah. Well, I had a buddy of mine who sold me one, and I was telling another friend about him, and he offered me enough money to make a little difference on it. And somebody wanted an older J frame than I had, and I made some money on that. And, so it worked.
Awesome.
And it wasn't the deal. Who is it that has the cross? The SIG.
Oh, Stephen.
Yeah.
Clifford.
I mean, yeah, it's not a deal like that.
Not quite Stephen Clifford level. Yeah. There's very few like that.
Not anywhere near that level. But I did okay. So, yeah. So happy with that. And,
nice.
Just getting used to it, getting used to being retired, which is an entirely different animal.
I imagine it is. What's on tap tonight? What are you drinking tonight? Yep.
Just some tea. Some tea.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, Pastor G and our super fan. We'll turn it over to you next. How are you? What have you been up to since we were together last?
Well, the last Tuesday, my daughter and I, with the Civil Air Patrol, got to be on a Black Hawk ride at Lindenwood.
Fort Leonard.
Yeah, so I said Fort Leonard Wood. Anyway, so that was a lot of fun. We went up and got to go about 20 minutes, and unfortunately, they just had a storm, so they had the doors closed. It would be probably a lot more fun if the doors were open.
The whole wind through the air, through the hair, and all.
We were doing things like this. We got close enough. I got a video on my Facebook page. And you can see the blades they got like going through these fields, right? And the blades had to be not more than like 5 feet off the ground, because I could like see blades of like weeds and things growing up from the empty fields. And I believe the flight before us may have took off a branch of a tree.
I think they barely missed it. They just
barely missed taking out a branch of a tree. But it was a lot of fun, like up and down and all this other stuff. And so that was the big fun. And she got to go see a B-2 bomber last Friday at Whiteman Air Force Base.
Had to wake up at 3:30 a.m. for that, but it was worth it.
Nice.
Very nice.
Didn't go into the cockpit, though. That required different paperwork that they would have had to make us do and all that stuff.
Yep.
But I haven't done too much on the gun range lately, though. I've been still working on my different cane techniques for self-defense,
Right.
sometimes, you don't have to pull out your gun, but if you have one nice walking stick, you can swap somebody with that. And usually that actually takes care of probably about 90% of stuff.
How do you get started with that?
How did I get started with that?
Or how can you get started with that?
Oh, well, I have a friend. Well, I'm taking Irish stick fighting with the chieftain of the Doyle clan through Zoom. And so he's in Leitrim, Ireland. Although they do have on the East Coast. There's actually a guy in Florida
Stick fighting.
that does it as well. But we do over Zoom. I do the Doyle Irish stick fighting with him, and then I take all the wonders of COVID, right? We all started doing things online, and so now my wife and I also take Bonifant cane stick fighting from a guy in Argentina.
Doyle clan Irish stick fighting.
Yes, and then the other one's that Bonifant cane stick fighting from Argentina.
Okay.
And two completely different systems, but the good thing about both of those systems that I like about them is that they treat the stick like a stick and not like a sword.
Okay.
It's being used as a blunt instrument. So so I've taken some Eskrima, but in Eskrima and Kali, the stick is really being substituted for a sword. And so you got a lot more slashes and whatnot, where these things, it's just more, you're figuring out how to bang someone's up pretty good with the end of a stick.
So you're beating people with a shillelagh. Okay.
Yes,
I like
yes,
it.
yes.
He has some of the fanciest canes I've ever seen.
Yes, I make my own canes, except for the shillelagh. I got that from Ireland.
Okay. Nice. All right, Superfan, what have you been up to? We've heard about the the B-2 and the Black Hawk. What else? Are you still is school out yet? I guess it is.
It is, but I'm doing some extra math throughout the summer so I can do my PSAT and hopefully get a good score. So my oldest brother, he got free ride to college off of that, so hoping to get that.
Very nice.
And so I'm working on that. Gonna do some junior counseling, being a junior counselor at a summer camp this summer, a couple weeks.
That's at
Heights Point.
Heights Point in Lincoln, Missouri. It's a Lutheran camp.
Okay. Nice.
Although they do have Baptists that occasionally show up.
So you need to take one of Dad's shillelaghs with you.
Yes.
Keep the Baptists.
Hey, now, don't be bad mouthing the Baptists.
I'm just saying that they do come. It's surprisingly often that I run into one there, even though it's a Lutheran summer camp.
They also different groups rent out the facility there. So
yeah.
Although hopefully this summer goes better because I don't know what happened. Maybe it was a false alarm or something, but last summer there was something that happened, and then just the carbon monoxide alarm went off on the last day as we were cleaning up the cabins. So we all had to all evacuate out of the building.
Serving too much beans in the cafeteria, huh?
yeah.
And so we all had to evacuate and then head to the gym while the counselors figured out what the heck was happening. I have no clue what actually ended up causing the thing to go off, but they must have figured it out.
Who figured it out? Did you say the Catholics figured it out? What?
No, counselors.
Counselors. I was like, what? What is going on with these
Lutheran camp, huh?
Oh my gosh.
Well, there's a lot of hot air going on with the Catholics, so maybe they would be able to figure out where the
or in the words of Pope Francis, too much faggotry.
Oh dear Lord. You're going to get me demonetized. Wait a minute. I'm not monetized as it is, so go ahead. And what are you guys drinking tonight?
We're having matcha baba tea.
Okay. All right. The old standby.
That's right.
Very good. Pastor, how is the ear?
It's there. So I've seen an audiologist, and the first one said, well, you can benefit from hearing aids. And of course, quality hearing aids are $6,000 to $9,000 a pair. I did find out, though, if you ever need hearing aids, it's worth it. Even for me, I'd have to drive 2 hours to go to Costco. It's the Jabra. I forget, something 20. Jabra Select 20, something like that. They're identical to a $9,000 pair of hearing aids for $1,600.
Oh, wow.
So, and I found an audiologist who will, she said, yeah, if you bring him in here, you just pay me something under the table. I can do any adjustments if you need them. And I mean, that's where the audiologists make their bread and butter, is the hearing aid sales.
Selling the hearing aid. Yeah.
You know, which, I mean, you're paying for the service for the time that you have them. So if I ever need them, I'm going to Costco. But no, she actually said, this was the second person I saw, wanted a second opinion. She said, even if you had $1 million, I wouldn't sell you hearing aids because you don't need them. So my tinnitus, she said, might get better within 6 months or so, but give it 6 months before you even think about doing anything.
Okay.
So,
is the tinnitus, is that new, or is that something you had before that's gotten worse, or?
It came on with the infection that I had. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well,
I hope it goes away, John.
Yeah.
I hope
Because
so
I've had
too.
it my whole life
Yeah.
through the military.
Oh, sure.
And yeah, it's a constant companion.
Yes.
Sort of like your voices.
Yes.
I've had it at some low level all my life.
I blame mine on.
But the hearing aids do help.
Okay.
Yeah, they made a
With the
tremendous
tinnitus.
difference for my mother-in-law, but my tinnitus, it's not bad enough where the hearing aids are worth it. Just the discomfort of having them, and yeah, so.
Yeah. Tinnitus is quite a joy. I blame mine on standing in front of Marshall Stacks at a bar in Cleveland in the flats, listening to heavy metal and getting and coming out of there with the whole world ringing, and now the ringing never stops. Little did I know
I resemble that remark.
right? The lessons you could have learned as a young person, thinking I'm indestructible, and now that fun in the flats is paying me back tenfold.
The gift that keeps on giving.
It is absolutely. Mine's not to the point where I have a hard time hearing anything. It's just always there, and so if the house is really quiet, I cannot. Unless I'm just dead tired, I can't sleep. I have to have some sort of white noise, something that will sort of drown that out so that I can actually settle down and sleep. So fans going constantly, or TV, or a white noise generator or something. Yay. Stuart, what have you been up to since you touched back down and
Not a whole lot besides relaxing,
hanging out in cemeteries?
getting back to normal. And I haven't been shooting. Don't ask me why. I could have gone to a shooting this morning. They were having a competition at the gun club. I should have gone, just, pistol competition,
Right.
but did I go? No, because I'm stupid or I had other things to do.
Yep. I hear you.
You changed.
I now have the time to do it because we're in between volleyball seasons, but it's 90,000 degrees outside. So,
It is?
oh yeah, we're pushing I don't know. You get the added humidity that we don't get, but it's 95 pushing 100 degrees this last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It was
what
a
today.
sweltering 75 here today.
Yeah, but I'll stick with the 90 because in winter, and it's minus 50 in Minnesota,
oh yeah,
in northern Minnesota,
yeah,
it's 50
trade-off.
degrees here, so
Yeah.
I'll stick with it. I've done that. Don't do that no more. No more cold.
See, I don't mind the cold. It's the heat that I don't tolerate well. Even though I grew up in Southern California.
You do get used to it.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
I hope so. I don't mind it too much because I prefer it over the cold, which is why we're in Texas. And the fact that we're not down towards Houston where you're swimming in your own sweat the minute you walk outside. Here it is, there's that old joke about, well, it's a dry heat. But it actually is. It's really weird. Unless you take a run around the park, you're not really feeling it. It's just constantly warm. But you start running around the range with a gun on your hip and magazines in your pockets and a vest on.
I don't run. Sorry. It is not my thing.
Well, even though we do have those miserable winters, I do have the benefit of just shooting in my backyard. So
see,
there you go.
Rub it in some more.
Like lately, just out of the blue one day, my son says, "I want to do trap shooting, Dad," and he had never done it before. And
that's so cool.
I happened to have an electric thrower, so we just went out there and he actually hit 2 out of 15 or so his very first time trying it, and the next time he hit 8 out of 15. We're only doing a few at a time, and yeah, so
nice.
He keeps it up. He'll be better at it than I am.
Is he shooting at 810?
He's shooting a 20 gauge.
20 gauge.
And he does okay with the 12 gauge too, but he shoots good enough with he wants to shoot next spring. They actually have a youth team that's organized through the high school, and they're going to let the elementary school kids join too. I think it's 5th grade and up. And my oldest daughter decided she wants to shoot next spring because her boyfriend's on the team. So she shot 2 years ago. So she shoots the 12 gauge. It's sized to her, and he does pretty good with the 20 gauge. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I have never tried. My neighbors frown on that generally, unfortunately.
We have a buddy who has a place out in West Georgia. And we went there last week. Went there last weekend and busted a few clays. What made me think of it was you're talking about the electric thrower. He had just bought one, and it's like, ooh, toys.
Yeah.
Boy.
Neat.
This doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It's just actually got it on eBay for like $25 because it was listed as missing parts and not working. And I said, I can make that thing work, and I did.
Good for you.
Nice.
I bought a shotgun that way once. It was in a budget barrel for like $100. It was a Mossberg 20 gauge, and stripped it down. The shell lifter, an $8 part, was messed up.
Nice. So everybody's found some deals. That's cool.
Oh, I love deals.
I forgot to ask Pastor what you're drinking tonight.
Coffee. I'm tired. I actually got to get going soon. I still have to finish getting things ready for church tomorrow.
Okay. Understood. It's good to see you. We need to get together this week if you have time.
Should be able to make some evening work.
Okay. Perfect.
So the pastoral folks among you may be interested to know I've been called back to the pulpit.
Oh.
Oh no, you poor guy.
I'm a musician though, not a preacher, not a pastor really. But there's certain interim leadership things they need to have occurring. So
okay,
I'm going to do that probably till after the first of the year, maybe.
Just to tide them over.
Gosh, with you.
John, did you buy that humidor?
Yes, I did. It's
How do you
awesome.
like it?
I really like it. It's
You'll have to post that on the cigar thing again.
I'll do that. In fact, if I can share a picture, I'll try and do this real quick.
Was
With
it
the exception
Amazon?
for, I got it on Amazon, but you can buy it directly through their website too. The company's based in the U.S. Customer service has been absolutely fantastic. Mine came with a improperly functioning hydrometer, and they sent me a new one the day I told them about the issue. It holds humidity. I've got one of those Bluetooth hydrometers in there that is linked to my phone. And you can see on there every time I open that humidor how the humidity drops, but then it comes right back up. And it did spike once, but that's when the AC quit working and it got up to 74 in the house. So the humidity went up a little bit more too, but it stayed. It's a 3-drawer with I have Bovida packs in the very bottom, and the middle drawer is where I have that hydrometer, and it stays right around 68.5%. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, for $200, it was well worth it.
Nice.
And I already
John.
had like $120 in Amazon gift cards, so it cost me $80. So, yeah, I'll send you a link to it if you'd like.
That's
All right, that'd be great.
man.
By the
Well, I
way,
got to go on, folks. So you all have a blessed evening and a blessed Lord's Day tomorrow.
You as well.
Yeah, we're having an ordination tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Excellent.
from the church. I've been at Fort Wayne, and now he's being ordained here tomorrow. The thing is, during the church service, but we have 4 pastors that go to church there, retired guys. So there'll be lots of,
Critiquing.
lots of red
you
stoles.
know, yeah, a lot of red stoles during a church service where all the rest of the guys would not be, where you usually do it in the afternoon. But oh well,
Good deal.
it'll be good.
Well, I'm sure that'll all go well. Ordination services
Yeah.
are awesome. So, well, blessings, everybody, lady and gentlemen. We'll see you all later.
Good to see
Take
you.
care, John. Have a great
Thanks.
week.
Thank you.
Blessings on your service tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
By the way, someone's talking about cigars. There's a Lutheran cigar lovers group on Facebook now.
Oh, okay.
So
There's a Lutheran. Which one?
it's called Lutheran Cigar
There's-
Lovers.
Okay.
There's a Lutheran cigar minister. You want me to send you a link?
Sure.
And
Max is just like,
you're on
oh,
Facebook, right,
whatever.
Guillaume?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
Yeah. I'll try to figure it out.
But yeah, Lutheran Cigar Lovers is a guy Hank Joubert down in Slidell, Louisiana started it. He was up at the district convention last summer. Someone somewhere came up with a whole bunch of Lutheran cigars and invited a bunch of people to the Harley Davidson Museum where we all smoked those cigars.
Very good.
And so anyway, he's invited a bunch of other people, and so I'm just letting you know if you want to talk to other Lutherans about cigars, just like we talk about guns here.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. I forgot to ask Stuart what you're drinking tonight.
I am drinking Copperworks
Copperworks
Plum Gin.
Okay.
It's from Seattle. I invested in the company before years ago, so I bought 2 bottles with elderflower tonic. It's a little different.
Okay.
Not bad. It's 80 some odd degrees outside. It's refreshing.
Very good. Excellent. So I wanted to ask, since a lot has happened since we were last together, I wanted to get everyone's thoughts. I mentioned this in the last episode, but I didn't want to really dig into it, and that is the Trump conviction stuff. And the first person I thought of in discussing this was you, Stuart, because I'm curious to know your thoughts on well, I want to know everyone's thoughts on this, but yours in particular, because I know you're not a big Trump fan, but I wonder, how does this go over with you?
It pushes me over the edge. It pushes me into the Trump camp. Whereas before, I don't know what I was going to do. I sure as hell wasn't voting for the geriatric.
Oh, God.
And I should put myself in that. But over the hill guy.
You can't put yourself in that.
Yeah, well,
that's a whole different level.
So I sent money to Trump, and I can't believe I did that because it pissed me off because it's not. I'm sorry. I believe in what juries come up with and the law, but the way they ran this is a Soviet trial.
Yeah,
this is a witch hunt, lawfare, whatever you want to call it. That's my 2 cents worth. And
do you think a lot of people that have the opinion like yours about Trump, that feel the way you do, are feeling the same way you do now?
I'll hit the ball back to you, Lloyd. What about you? Because we had similar views of Trump.
Yeah, I will run over broken glass to vote for him now. There's no question. There's no way I would not vote for him now. And I actually sent money, and I haven't sent money to the Republican Party in 20 years.
Yeah, well,
this is such an awful abuse of power. And to have Biden stand up and talk about how he's protecting our democracy, capital O, capital D, trademark, and then to celebrate this conviction and send his cronies idiot De Niro out there to stand out there outside the courthouse and make a fool of himself.
No.
It's so ridiculous for them to gaslight us and say, oh, we're going to lose our democracy if Trump gets elected, so we need to put him in prison to prevent him from getting elected.
That's you have to like do non-democratic stuff.
Right? Yes.
Yes. Kind of like Star Wars and the Republic, right?
Right. Which is ironic considering that Mark Hamill is now doing all those crazy posts for Biden.
I was for the Empire, by the way. So
right.
The lawful government, not those rebellious people.
David, what do you think?
2 words: kangaroo court.
Yep.
The thing that, pardon the pun, but the trumped up charges, it makes a very definitive mockery of the legal system, and I think the man's personality is atrocious, but and morality is in question as well. But to look at what Biden and all are doing, it's weaponizing legal system. It is everything that the original patriots, in 1776-ish time frame were, said we can't have this anymore. Mm-hmm. So it's
they went to war over a 3-cent tax on tea.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that they would still be sitting around saying, "Oh, this is fine." At this point.
Just there's so many things that are just ridiculous about the whole situation. My dad, however, said something I really keep thinking over and over again is and one political thing. My dad said, "Do I have to vote for any of them? Can I just vote against them all?"
You kind of wish you could at some point.
Yeah, it's just, it's just crazy. But I think it's going, it's certainly polarized the political situation in the country, and it will, I think, galvanize the response of people who would otherwise be just sort of like, it's not such a big deal. Well, now they're making it a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is going to backfire big time on the left. Everyone who thought this was the way to get rid of him, because if they thought that they could turn everyone against him by convincing us, that people will never vote for him because he's a felon, and then we see how they made him a felon, most people, myself and apparently Stuart as well, are sitting here going, I didn't like him before, but I'm going to vote for him now because I see what you guys are doing. And if you'll do it to him, what will you do to me if I speak up against some of the things you're doing?
Somebody said about something I said, now you're on the list. And it's like, my friend, I've been on the list.
We've been on the list for,
but the thing of stacking misdemeanors until it becomes a felony is, just crazy.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. And it's, I just don't think that's going to, I don't really think it's going to stand. Because it's just, what law book did they get that out of?
Their ass.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
part of me.
Yeah. Well, it's
obvious.
It's like, and I have friends who don't believe the same way I do, but how am I going to take that seriously? Well, other than I have to take it so seriously because, it is so divisive. It is so crazy. It is so, what are we going to see if we see 4 more years of the same kind of thing? What other national?
And you can't say 4 more years of Biden, because I don't believe that will, even if he were reelected, I don't think there's any way that there's 4 more years of Biden. You're voting.
It doesn't matter if Biden has not been in charge at all through the whole thing.
Yeah. Well,
he has never been there. It's been run by, was it Valerie Jarrett, Obama's little henchwoman?
Well,
Right.
the whole strategy is an Obama strategy. That's how he won his first office. Before when he got the senator, he got there by going through legal channels, knocking out his opponents so they couldn't run against him, so he would win in the Senate.
Well, but what you have is a figurehead.
Yes,
you have a figurehead,
almost like a shadow president.
Yeah, who has no serious. Nobody's taking him serious enough, and the things that he does are not, of his own volition. So you end up with a figurehead, but. And so I think the figurehead can go on as long as he's still breathing.
It's going to end up looking like Weekend at Bernie's at some point.
That's a very good
sunglasses on him, prop him up between Kamala and whoever, up there at the podium, and move his arms around.
Of course, the meme with Bernie Sanders then comes into play with the.
There's that. Yeah.
Well, one of the more interesting things, I play around on TikTok because I put devotions up there and whatnot. And, the black community was starting to go towards Trump's wave even before this because, the message has been getting out. He did do all these things for blacks during his first term.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone over the top and on TikTok of black and Hispanic support.
Really?
They're selling T-shirts with him and gangsters going thug life.
So now he really identifies with the black community, is what they're saying. Oh dear.
Well, a certain aspect. Well, they feel that a lot of blacks, even who aren't thugs, do feel that a lot of their people get railroaded,
unfairly treated by the legal. That's why they called Bill Clinton the first black president, right?
Yeah.
Because he was unfairly treated because they were trying to get him on the whole Monica Lewinsky stuff and all of that and the perjury. And there was that meme going along trying to convince everyone that, well, he's just like black folks because he's being, he's the man's after him. Now that's turned around and now maybe working for Trump.
Yeah. No. So yeah, I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna be more the minority vote that's kind of going out for him if he gets to election night.
Yeah,
because of all this stuff.
Do any of you think that they'll try to put him in jail?
I wouldn't put it past him. You see, Republicans were always, well, we don't want to do this because of how it make America look.
Right.
The Democrats apparently don't care. I mean, because otherwise, if we really cared about any of this stuff, Hillary Clinton would have been in jail, right? Hunter Biden laptop would have been on the news 4 years ago.
Yep.
Demonstrating these things. And there would be an impeachment going on right now with Biden because the prosecutor wouldn't be saying, well, yeah, he's guilty, but he's too doddering to get the face trial and no one picked him.
Yep. That decision by Robert Hur basically sunk the classified documents case against Trump because all he has to do is say, what about this guy?
Now, my daughter, this is what she has on her phone.
Might as well.
I've had it for 2 years, waiting for this year, waiting for this election to come out for this. I found out at a random thrift store in Virginia.
That's great.
I've had it ever since.
I love it. That's perfect. Yeah, I mean, it's for a lot of Republicans and probably for a lot of Democrats and a fair number of independents, before all of this crazy lawfare stuff started, you're sitting there looking at these two candidates and going, like David said, can I just vote for neither one of them? I'll vote for RFK. And I think he's going to end up siphoning off a fair number of votes from Biden because I think there's a fair number who just can't bring themselves to vote for Biden again.
Well, the historically, the main function of independent candidates has been to siphon votes from either side, both sides.
Yeah.
And so what it does is it makes the race even more difficult to solve.
But the left has got more candidates this time. We've had the Ross Perot's, the Libertarians, but the left, they got RFK Jr. They have
Cornel West.
What's
the Green Party lady's name?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they're all communists.
She's going to get like less than 1% of the vote, as she always does. But
that's fine.
And the Libertarian Party's just an absolute group of whack jobs.
Yeah. You see Trump there out there?
That was, why on earth did he even bother? That is such a nut house.
I can't believe they invited him. It's like,
I know.
For me and you'll do better than 3%. If you vote for me and I win, I'll put libertarians in top positions. You'll finally be a decent party.
Yep. But no, we'd rather vote for a guy with a shoe on his head.
Well, the libertarians, because I'm a bit of a conservative libertarian. The libertarians, they have good ideas, except they have horrible candidates. I went and listened to, when I was selling Washington, the last go, Gary Johnson. He was okay, but his little sidekick that was going to be VP pick, he was a complete idiot. And I mean, not a squirrely idiot, just an idiot.
Well, but remember was it the last election, Trump's re-election campaign, where we had the Joe Jorgensen lady? Was it Joe Jorgensen that there was or was that his first in 2016? Where there was
2016 was Gary Johnson.
Okay, so Joe Jorgensen.
I got that mixed up.
Okay, so Joe Jorgensen was in 2020, and there were a bunch of people who were like, "No, I can't vote for Trump again. I'm going for Joe Jorgensen because she's this and this and this." And I'm like, okay, you're just you're basically voting for the other guy. You're not voting because your guy's not going to win. Joe Jorgensen's going to get 3% of the vote. And I think I recorded an episode about this and I was like, well, let's play this out. What happens if miracle Joe Jorgensen wins? She's got no other libertarians in Congress to support her agenda. So she's going to have to side with one party or the other, or cut deals with one or the other to get things moving. And so you're not moving the ball forward in terms of gun rights or in terms of conservative values. You're throwing your vote away, even if she wins. Not that she had any chance.
If you want to read up on this lawfare thing, Andy McCarthy of the National Review, who also writes for, I think, the Post or something, has done a really good job of writing about this. Silly.
Good.
Yeah, Andy McCarthy is really good. Very articulate, good writer.
He was what? He was the U.S. District Attorney who prosecuted the blind sheik, the guy who bombed the World Trade Center for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was in the Southern Department of New York.
That's right.
Southern District, New York. SCNY.
There was something else. Did anybody watch any of the D-Day stuff this week? 80th anniversary?
No, I was just there. And
you were there, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that picture is the American Cemetery.
Is that one you took?
Yeah.
Nice. Always wanted to go. I did get my daughter to watch Band of Brothers with me this week, so.
I watched the 4th episode. I hadn't seen it before.
It's fantastic. I was worried.
Yes, it is.
We watched the first episode, and I was like, I bet she's not going to like this, because there's the whole Captain Sobel stuff, and, he's an absolute whole
David Schwimmer guy.
Yeah, and he's just horrible to all of them. And then I was like, when the episode was over, I turned to her, and she's, Max, how old are you?
15.
Okay, so my daughter's going to be 15 next year. So you can relate, maybe. Although I suspect you would probably be more amenable to watching these things than she is. She after the first episode, I was like, do you want to watch another one? And she was like, yeah, let's watch another one. And the second one was over, and she was like, yeah, let's keep going. So we got through 4 episodes. We got through the Market Garden episode. Which I think is episode 4. And she's hooked. So that was cool. My daughter is not one who will sit down and watch movies but if there's some historical theme tied in, she's down for it. So that was cool.
We watched The Longest Day.
Hey, Donnie.
Hey, Donnie.
Yeah.
We don't see you, Donnie.
Yeah, that's because I'm on my cell phone. I'm sitting over the deck looking right up towards Glacier Park. It's my mother's memorial service tomorrow. So I'm in Kalispell, Montana today. So we're at my sister's house right now, and a little family get together, and then we have the memorial service, and then some stuff, and Vicar-elect Peter says hi to everybody. He's excited. He starts on the 11th of August. So this is my
where
Laurel, Montana.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
It's in the Billings area. If anybody knows anything about Montana.
Just a smidge.
Who's this bishop or supervisor?
Oh, it's President Forkey. He's Terry Forkey. He's been the district. That's the district president. His supervisor is Pastor Pullman, who's been at this. He's been at this church for like 32 years.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and the California, Nevada, Hawaii district president told us at there, he says, I just want you to know, Peter, that you've got the number one supervisor for vicars in the denomination.
All right. Well, good.
Yes. So, and Peter likes traditional, and so he's there. He's going to like that, and he's super excited about coming back to Montana. So we got that, and we got a trip the end of the month to Great Falls for one of his friends from college is getting married in Great Falls, Montana, and then we're going to load up pickup and maybe a trailer, and he's going to come out. The good news is we can make it to Laurel in one long day driving, where out here in Kalispell it takes 2 fairly long days to get here. So it's about 1,200 miles from St. Paul, Minnesota to where I'm at right now.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking a few minutes, being away from home and not in your usual spot, and taking a minute to join us. It's good to hear from you. And tell Peter hello from all of us.
We will. And I did want to say that I got a new laptop that hopefully will solve the problem when I'm on the road and have a Wi-Fi connection. So it was an $800 laptop, and between being off and what I get for an employee discount, it ended up being $350.
Can't beat
Oh,
that.
nice.
Very nice.
It's a Lenovo.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are good.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of those.
So anyway, I just wanted to, I looked at the time, and of course we're an hour earlier than Central Time Zone. So I said, hey, I better just come by and say hi. So hi to everybody, and maybe next time you'll see me.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it, Donnie. Have a great rest of your weekend and safe trip back home, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
Well, guys, we're getting towards the top of the hour. Let's go around the board. What have you got planned let's see, it's June, beginning of June now. Between now and the time we get back together, what do you got planned? What do you got coming up? Stuart, going on any more cruises or
No,
baseball?
Baseball.
Excellent.
Going to Orlando in September, but that's down the road.
Okay. Going to the House of Mouse?
No, I'm going to. I joined That's okay. I mean, I have Disney Plus. Okay, only because I watched some kid shows. But anyway, no, I joined
with their not so secret gay agendas.
Hilton.
All right, good. David, how about you?
Italy.
What?
Yay.
Nice.
Nice.
Taking a chorus trip.
Okay. What parts?
Tuscany, Florence, little town called Montecatini Terme outside of Florence, about 30 miles. They do a choral festival each year. There will be 3 or 4 or 5 choirs there. Sing to the town. It's just a small town. It's a great excuse for, music is a great excuse for vacation. So
there you go.
And so there are 50 of us going, 34, 35 singers.
Okay. Nice.
I'll wave my hands a little bit.
Hum along.
Yeah. Oh, and the season turned out fantastic. We had a fantastic spring season.
Okay.
I would not be ashamed to hold their results up to any volunteer choir you want to name.
Excellent.
Nice.
That's a lot for me to say.
share some video on the Facebook group if you.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
That would be awesome. Pastor G, how about you? We'll save Max for last.
I got I got roped into being an emergency chaplain for the Civil Air Patrol's encampment, Missouri encampment, the week of the 16th. So I'll be like at the Missouri Academy. What's it? The
Missouri Military Academy.
Missouri Military Academy. That they hold the encampment at. Encampment for the Civil Air Patrol for kids is like a kind of like a mini boot camp, but where they kind of try to get the kids to what Civil Air Patrol is, what they're supposed to be doing in it.
It's basically so the cadets that are new learn how to do basically Civil Air Patrol, and the ones that have been for a while, they typically staff the event because there's a ton of staff, and then they learn how to lead the cadets and do all that organizational stuff.
Yeah,
nice.
So I'll be chaplain there, so mainly I get like a 5-minute devotion with the kids every day before breakfast.
Okay,
and then I pretty much handle all emotional emergencies, which apparently occur most of the time late at night.
Of course. Yes. Probably after you're asleep already.
And I just kind of run around and enjoy being around the kids most of the time. And then at the end of the month, I get to go to my 40th high school reunion down Louisiana way. So I get to get some good seafood and whatnot.
Some good Cajun food. All right. Nice. All right, Max, your turn. Take us home here.
I'm headed down to Texas soon to go to a K-pop concert. So
K-pop in Texas.
Yep, in Dallas.
Near Dallas, so it's Texas is one of the main areas that you can find it. There's not much in Missouri. It happens like Illinois, Texas, New York, New Jersey, Georgia.
Okay.
Most groups skip over Missouri if they're big enough.
I would never have guessed.
She's paying for herself.
I got a job.
You're just putting her on a bus and say, enjoy the show. And
no, the wife is taking her. But she likes K-pop too. So
I'm paying for my part of the gas in the hotel. And I paid for my ticket.
How amazingly responsible. I am
got a job at McDonald's for this.
Very good. Why am I not surprised? I am not surprised at all to hear this.
That is quite awesome. Congratulations.
That is awesome.
Thanks.
I hope you enjoy the trip.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully it won't be terrible down here.
Well, so is K-pop better than Metallica?
No.
Well, it depends.
I don't like heavy metal. So.
If you're a parent wanting your children to be at something kind of wholesome, then K-pop is
the way to go. Metallica now is probably okay now that they're, my age.
Or mine.
They're somewhere in between me and Stuart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm making a dress to go down there and replicating something from a music video that I've been crocheting up for about a month. 42 granny squares and
crochet and K-pop in the same sentence. Okay.
Nice.
I never would have guessed.
K-pop concerts are kind of interesting. It's a really different culture because everybody makes all these different crafts and beads and whatnot, and they have they have those little chemical lights and whatnot, right? And they all go up and down the line, giving each other stuff and trading things, and all very nice and polite people generally. There's not if you go to a rock concert, you're not going to generally get
Koreans are amazingly polite people. That's true.
Yeah. But the K-pop fans who are Americans tend to
embody that same. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Interesting.
So it's Korea. It's Korean pop music. Music is
right.
What it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It also comes over into a lot of. There's a K-pop restaurant here in town. So you'll have things like a hot dog. A corn dog that is
that's very
rolled in Cheetos. And sounds really crazy, but it actually tastes pretty good. I tried it.
I'm trying to lose weight, not gain.
But it is definitely not a diet day.
It's
let me
not
tell
diet
you.
day,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even a small entry into that place is not good for you.
That sounds like a day at the Texas State Fair where it's just like a heart attack waiting to happen.
It's all kind of part of the K. But I got my wife hooked on K drama originally on Netflix because the K dramas are like stuff from like their themes and everything else are like from like the 1950s, right?
Oh, haven't heard of this.
Interesting.
It's all except for but of course now Netflix is they're kind of ruining K dramas on Netflix. But they used to, if you can find a K drama on Netflix like TV 14 or less, then it's a pretty good one. But when they have like gangs fighting, have all these sticks, and the sticks are waving all in the air, but no one ever actually gets hit, but people are falling. And
or they'll blur out the knife.
If someone is holding a knife in a vicious way, the knife is blurred out. You can have a knife showing a knife chopping vegetables, but as soon as it becomes a weapon, it's blurred.
Certain shows, different ones, they do different things.
So it's kind of like most of the stuff we watch is K drama these days, or even movie shows from communist China because the values they're demonstrating there are back, 50s,
right? So what are they trying to do with them now? You said they're the newer stuff. Are they trying to like Game of Thrones all of the K-pop
Netflix
stuff?
ones? Yeah, well, the Netflix ones are just ruining like everything else,
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's TVMA, this is not what I want to watch.
No.
They've ruined it. It doesn't have the character of a K drama anymore. It's just another American show.
I like most people. I started off with K drama and went into K-pop and other Korean things like food, which my dad is great at making. A lot of people go from K-pop into those things, but I started in a different way.
You started in a different way. Okay.
I like watching Korean drama. It has a lot less cred than a lot of American stuff. Korean and Chinese dramas.
It's amazing.
They're like historical and cultivator themed ones. They're fun to watch.
Oh, you didn't watch Squid Game?
No.
No.
That's one example where they ruin, something that's Korean.
Yeah. Well, cool. Okay. Well,
Korean food is great, though. That stuff.
I do like Korean food. That's true.
So
send pictures. Take pictures. Share them. We want to see all this stuff. We want to see all the crafty stuff that you come up with, and we want to see video if they will let you take it at the concert. So
they usually do.
Cool. Make sure you bring that for the next hangout. We want to see it.
Will do.
Okay.
The keys to get more phone storage because I have 60 gigabytes taken up by photos already, and I've had it for 2 years. Actually, 1.5. So I fill up my photo storage way too fast.
Yes, life in the digital age. Well, guys, thank you all so much for taking the time and sharing all your stories and hanging out. We'll do it again next month.
Excellent.
And thank you, Pastor, for reminding me, because I can't believe I came in here this morning and I sat down and I started working on the new book and I was like, oh yeah, I need to send that email. And then totally forgot. Something popped up.
I got someone over here like bothering me about, it's like, are we not having a thing today? What time is that for? I'm like, well, I don't see a thing there. I better email.
I just need to create an app so that Max can push the button and say, hey, send out that email. Send it now.
Yeah, I was at the baseball game, so wondering if it was going to happen.
Right. And I was sitting downstairs thinking, okay, I got an hour and a half before the hangout. I can watch some TV, and then my phone beeps. I was like, oh crap! I knew there was something I forgot. Okay. It would have been really embarrassing if I'd have showed up and nobody was here. It's the online hangout with nobody.
You just have your own virtual assistant named Max.
That's right. Right. You're officially drafted.
That's right.
I didn't mention that's what comes with being the super fan. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you next time.
All right. Have a blessed Sunday.
You're the same. Thanks, Lloyd.
All right. Bye,
Have a great evening, folks.
Bye.
For show notes, be sure to visit our website at www.armedlutheran.us. Check out the Facebook page, The Armed Lutheran, or join our Facebook group, Fans of Armed Lutheran Radio. If you like what you hear, please leave us a comment on our feedback page at armedlutheran.us/feedback or a review on iTunes and let us know what you think. Thank you for listening to Armed Lutheran Radio, a member of the Self-Defense Radio Network.